This is called Job Interview with an Ex-Mental Patient. Ms. Ranaghan, why do you want to work here as the director of this program? Why do I want to work here as director of this program? Why do you think? Because it's a better position than the one I have now. And I want to tell my family at the next family gathering that I am a director. It would totally blow their minds. It would be an excuse for a celebration instead of a crisis. And I'm 48 years old. And I'm tired of everyone else making decisions. My age tells me that I'm supposed to be making decisions now. As a matter of fact, I'm a little late in arriving. When I was 25, I sat across the desk from a 25-year-old who had doctor in front of her name. She was supposed to be able to help me figure out how the both of us could be 25 years old. One of us was homeless and unemployable, while the other was a fully contributing member of society, a bona fide psychiatrist, who, according to her title, gained some insight about living that clearly eluded me. She had actualized the American dream at the youthful age of 25. Oh, but I took every opportunity to remind this young psychiatrist that she had nothing on me, because she obviously hadn't suffered enough. And when we were old and gray, it would be me that wore the badge of wisdom, because I took the time to suffer, while she buried her head in books. Why do I want this position of director? I'd really like to help people. Ms. Ranaghan, what are your beliefs about mental illness and recovery? My beliefs on mental illness and recovery. Well, I think that the people who everyone else calls mentally ill are really having a more appropriate response to this horrendous society we live in. It is nothing to brag about to be well-adjusted to a sick society. The well-adjusted ones are in total denial of the effects the environment has upon them. In fact, I think every one of them has a chronic denial disorder, which manifests itself in their success. One of the common symptoms of chronic denial disorder is the tendency to be successful in a culture of violence, disarray, and havoc. And I also think that what we call recovery from mental illness is more likely recovery from the trauma of our lives and unacknowledged loss and grief. I believe some of us are in recovery from misunderstanding, and others of us are in recovery from the cure. I believe society suffers from a deeply ingrained maladaptive pattern of behavior of long duration which interferes with its ability to help struggling human beings reach wholeness. Wholeness could better be reached by doing away with the chemical and physical restraints, doing away with the locks and the separate dining rooms and the separate bathrooms. I call it segregation. You call it safety measures. Oh, how we spend our hours writing laws and policies to divide and separate, deluding ourselves into thinking that we're protecting ourselves, our professional identities, with these false measures of control and separation. Let us all dine together and jibber and jabber away in the language of humanity. What are my beliefs about mental illness and recovery? My belief about mental illness and recovery is that everyone has the potential for growth. Ms. Ranaghan, what would you say is your greatest strength? My greatest strength? I'd have to say, tell them your greatest strength. If I tell them my greatest strength is my greatest weakness. So what will I tell them when they ask me what my greatest weakness is? If I tell them my greatest strength is my resilience in the face of failure, they will automatically wonder why I've had to be so resilient. I only developed resilience because of repetitious failures. Why else would I need to be resilient? And resilience is simultaneously my greatest weakness because, in hindsight, clearly, there were times when resilience was not in my best interest. I should have stayed down. My resilience was fueled with an anger and a passion to beat the odds. It was heart and soul, and that's what I loved about it, however misdirected it might have been. It was driven by revenge and soaked with an "I'll show you this time." I came up swinging more and more wildly every time, fighting and fighting, I was so busy being resilient, I never stopped long enough to realize I was fighting the same fight over and over again. And the war was long over. What is my greatest strength? I would have to say my greatest strength is my resilience in the face of life's challenges. And what would you say is your greatest weakness, Miss Ranaghan? See, I knew it. My greatest weakness is my failures, all resulting from the total inability to learn from my experiences. I can't tell them that I am constitutionally incapable of learning from my experiences, that I've been stuck in a repetitious pattern of self-destructive responses and behaviors, that I've suffered the gravest of consequences due to my fixed beliefs and impenetrable automatic responses to life's circumstances and challenges. Okay, I got it. I would have to say, my greatest weakness is my loyalty to the truth, my reluctance to compromise on the truth. And why is that a weakness, Miss Ranaghan? It's a weakness because it has rendered me a mental patient, a homeless person, a bad co-worker, a nightmare to supervise, and an all-around pain in the ass to anyone who I encountered had a different opinion than me.
That's you, Nancy.
I guess I characterize it as a weakness because as leaders, we need to develop negotiating skills. That's where I'm at today. Loyalty to the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, has no place in politics. Compromise is the magic bullet. Well, Miss Ranaghan, we'll be making a decision by the end of next week. If you're offered the position, the next step would be fingerprinting. If we decide to go in another direction, we'll let you know that too. I think I screwed this one up. Thank you so much. I really believe I could be a great asset to your organization.